She can stay. That is the judge's ruling over whether Fulton County DA Fani Willis should be allowed to continue her prosecution of former President Donald Trump and his allies. Good evening and thank you for joining us for Fox 5 News at 5. I'm Russ Spencer.
I'm Courtney Bryant. Defense attorneys wanted Willis and her office removed from the case and the entire indictment dismissed because they argued the DA's romantic relationship with a subordinate created a conflict of interest. Fox 5 team reporter Randy Travis says the judge criticized her judgment but found the defense did not prove its case. Randy.
That's right, Courtney and Russ. Judge McAfee's order, in essence, says Willis can stay if her ex-boyfriend Nathan Wade resigns from the case. Well, this afternoon, the special prosecutor hired by Willis to oversee the investigation did exactly that. Willis must now find a replacement, while at the same time work to repair her reputation.
You're confused. You think I'm on trial. These people are on trial for trying to steal an election in 2020.
That trial is now back on track, following a judge's ruling that allows Fani Willis to remain in charge of the election interference case. In his 23-page ruling, Judge Scott McAfee decided the evidence did not establish the district attorney's receipt of a material financial benefit as a result of her decision to hire and engage in a romantic relationship with Wade. Defense attorneys for 9 of the 15 remaining defendants argued Nathan Wade was hired primarily because he was dating Willis, and the two vacationed together with Wade, spending what the court determined was as much as $15,000 on his boss. But the couple, who say they only started dating after he was hired and also broke up shortly before last August's indictment, testified Willis paid or reimbursed Wade for roughly half of those expenses, and all in cash.
You don't have a single solitary deposit slip to corroborate or support any of your allegations that you were paid by Mrs. Willis in cash, do you?
No, sir.
Not a single solitary one.
Not a one.
That seemed to satisfy the judge. Simply put, the defendants have not presented sufficient evidence indicating that the expenses were not roughly divided evenly. McAfee did agree the relationship was, quote, a tremendous lapse in judgment, but he refused to disqualify Willis from the case, instead giving her this option. The district attorney may choose to step aside, along with the whole of her office, and refer the prosecution to the prosecuting attorney's counsel for reassignment. Alternatively, Special Prosecutor Wade can withdraw, allowing the district attorney, the defendants, and the public to move forward without his presence or remuneration distracting from and potentially compromising the merits of this case.
You know, they ain't just giving this to black men.
The judge also wrote that this fiery speech by Willis accusing her critics of racism created dangerous waters for the DA and was legally improper. But McAfee ruled it did not cross the line to deny defendants a fair trial. As we mentioned, Nathan Wade has resigned effective immediately. In his letter to Willis, he wrote, seeking justice for the people of Georgia and the United States and being part of the effort to ensure that the rule of law and democracy are preserved has been the honor of a lifetime. In her response, Willis wrote, in part, I will always remember that you were brave enough to step forward and take on the investigation. Others who were considered were understandably concerned for the safety of themselves and their families that would arise from their acceptance of your role. You were the one who had the courage to accept the role, even though you did not seek it. And again, that resignation is effective immediately.
You talked about Fani Willis's need to repair her reputation. The words that stuck out to me was when the judge said there's an odor of mendacity surrounding how they testified about their relationship. That's as close as you can come to calling somebody a liar without calling them a liar.
Yeah, mendacity, a tendency to lie is the definition. Yeah, I mean, that's certainly a lot of, it was a mixed bag here, I guess you could call it, for Fani Willis. She gets to stay on the case, but her reputation took a big hit.
Yeah, and it sounds like this is only the beginning. There could be other investigations as well as this after this one has wrapped up.
And we still don't know if any of the 9 defense attorneys will file an appeal in this case, which would continue to slow it down. It all depends now on Judge McAfee. If an appeal is requested, whether he grants one.
Randy, thanks very much.
All right, thanks, Randy.